Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life with Coach Deborah D. Smith. You could have been anywhere else, but thank you so much for deciding to be here on Build Your Best Life. This is our second night of our virtual men and boys conference, and I am super excited. We have some wonderful guests this week. Bishop Gregory T. Lightner IV started us out last night, and we had a great conversation from him. A lot of questions were asked, and so it met our objective. Thank you so much to everyone who has reached out to show your support for Build Your Best Life, because without people like you, we could not do what we're doing. So thank you so very much. I'm going to say a little short prayer here. Most gracious and Heavenly Father, we thank you again for giving us the opportunity to reach out to our young men all over the world, to reach their lifeline, which is their parents, their grandparents, educators, pastors, coaches, the village that's all around them, Lord. We want to show them that they can make mistakes one time, 5 times, 20 times, but that's not the end of the story. As Bishop said last night, they can start over from chapter 1 and start again and be their best. So we thank you for this opportunity to share tonight. Amen. So thank you so much for that. Good evening, Billy. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you, Linda Smith. Hi, how are you? Thank you for tuning in tonight. Going to have a short song here, and then I'm going to introduce my guest for tonight.
Good evening. My name is Jason. I am 22 years old, and I am the nephew of Mrs. Deborah D. Smith. And I will be singing He's Able for You. Okay, Google, play. Exceedingly, abundantly, above all you could ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. Oh, it worketh in you. God is able to do just what He said He would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Say, don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able. God is able to do just what He said He would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able. He's able. I think I'm gonna do a round of this. He's able.
All right. Thank you so much. Now I have the pleasure of introducing my wonderful guest for tonight. How are you doing tonight, Pastor?
I am doing extremely well, and it's such a pleasure to be on Build Your Best Life one more time with you, Deborah.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about pastor and coach Leonardo Allen Jr. And if you want to add something, then you may do so as well. But he starts out with Jeremiah 29:11, and we know that verse so well. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm, your plans to give you hope and a future. That's that says enough.
Yes, yes,
Coach Allen is the last child out of 7 children. He spent his early years in Andros in the quaint settlement of Low Sound and left Andros at the age of 19 to obtain employment and help his family financially. Coach Allen was blessed with the gift of barbering and used his barbering skills for employment where he worked at various barbershops in New Providence. In 2002, Coach Allen joined the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, where he served for 10 years. On January 13th, 2012, Coach Allen married the lovely former Miss Delarice Store, who is also a former Defense Force officer. And together, this couple has 4 beautiful daughters, Nadia, Vasti, Danielle, and Shania.
yes.
Coach Allen is an ordained minister, motivational speaker, a certified youth leader in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture, the director and founder of the Impacting Sons Mentoring Program, a trained mentor with the Eastern District Pastors Alliance in Nassau, Bahamas, the author of the book entitled A Man's Purpose in Life, a certified mental health coach, a member of the John C. Maxwell team as a certified coach, trainer, and speaker. Most importantly, he is a kingdom citizen. One of his favorite quotes is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I love it. He believes that you can roar, ROAR, rise over all restrictions. Pastor Allen?
Thank you so much, Brenda, Deborah. And like I said, it's a pleasure to be here with you one more time on the Build Your Best Life. And, it is so vital what you're doing right now in bringing men together to help empower our men and our young men. If there is a time that we need to empower our young men, it is right now, because when I think about or look at even my life and to see some of the challenges that I came through, it is only fitting for a program such as yours to have been implemented. And I believe that the vision that God has given to you for Build Your Best Life and to reach young men and men, it is necessary. When we look at this term or phrase, we look at actions speak louder than words. So many times we have words but limited actions, and it can start from the mere fact that we see the challenges that our communities are faced with. We have a lot of young men who find themselves getting into mischief. They find themselves getting into problems, and we have, and this is not to misalign or speak ill or negative to anyone. No programs, no. But I believe that it is so necessary for us who lead spiritually, and also we lead in the secular world, who are influencers through leadership and have mentorship programs and all of these platforms, to now see how best we can not just say we want to help young men, but or men, but to make sure that we get out there and do what it is we are saying. Because to be honest with you, it is so easy to say you want to do something, but it is so hard to go ahead and do it if you are not practicing what you preach. You can misappropriate what it is you are actually supposed to be doing. So even when we look at this proverb, this word, actions speak louder than words. It is an expression or an idea of studying people's actions. And I hope that, with us trying to reach young men, that it is important for us to not just say we're going to do it, but do it. Now, from the standpoint of our young men, you cannot say that you're going to do something and don't do it. You cannot say that, or you should not do that. I want to encourage our young men to understand that if you're gonna say something, you must follow it up with your actions. For example, I'm a married man. I've been married for 10 years plus. And if I say to my wife that I'm going to do something, she's expecting for me to do that. I cannot say I'm going to do it and then I don't do it. I'm not a man to my word when that happens. So my words must be followed by my actions. Our words must be followed by our actions. And what happens is people look to see if your words is lining up with your actions. And the purpose for that is they are checking now your character. Your character is at stake when you say, I am going to do this. You say it, but you don't do it. Very important for us to understand. Actions gives us that that level of trust. Actions give us that level of trust, and people can now trust you because you're not only saying it, but you're doing it. Okay. Another thing I want us to look at with respect to actions speak louder than words, and I want to take it a little bit. I want to take it a little bit from a biblical perspective. I want to bring it from a little bit from a biblical perspective. And it says, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. So what is that saying to us? Whatever we do, if I say I love you, don't let it just be words, because now it's going to come the day of testing. You're going to be tested. If you say you love someone, you're going to be tested because they're going to be looking for you to now show that you love. And it's going to be indeed. Indeed is what you do. And in truth. Okay? Your words, are they lining up with what you say you're going to do? Then let us look at what the Bible says about be doers of the word and not just hearers only. So if you say you're going to do something, you must do it. There is no way of getting around actions. There's no way of getting around that, because so much times we can say we're going to do something, but hey, we don't do it. We don't live up to it. And people are expecting to see that you will live up to what you say you will do. And what is so important is for us to now have a vision of where we're going. If you have a vision, see what I learned about vision holds you accountable. Vision holds you accountable. And when you have a vision, That vision helps to guide you and direct your life as to where you are going. So it's important to have a vision for your life. So your vision is not only the words that you say, but it's on paper, and it gives you an opportunity to follow each step of the way which you say you're going to do. Even with your goals, setting goals is important to, once you set your goals, stick to your goals and the plans that you have for your life. We can say a lot of things, but people watch what we do. We can say a lot of things, but people watch what we do. Have you not seen, especially as parents, uh, fathers, mothers, a lot of times we tell our kids, hey, I'm going to take you to the mall, or I'm going to take you to the park, I'm going to take you to the beach, I'm going to take you out. But something comes up, work call you, hey, I need you to come in for a few hours. So now you put your kids on hold, or you put your family on hold when you already said you're going to do something. And it really doesn't matter the conditions. There are times when we put our work ahead of family. We put our jobs and career ahead of our family, our wives, our husbands, and we put our work, our career ahead of those things. And more particularly, we put our work ahead of our children. So now they're expecting for mommy or daddy, and particular daddies and fathers, they are expecting fathers to come through for them. So many times, as fathers, we try to do our best to provide and protect our children. And there are times when, based on conditions, you may not be able to fulfill that. But then the problem is, don't say you're going to do it and then you don't follow through. Children mark our words. If daddy says something, they believe that daddy is going to do it. Let us think about even our creator. We expect for him to do some things for us. You know, we go and we spend time in prayer, and we expect him for him to do some things for us. And if he doesn't come through for us, sometimes we are questioning, why is it that he's not coming? Why is not God is not coming through for us? And it's the same thing with us. We are held accountable to our families, to our sons. We are held accountable. You know, I reading my profile, you would take note that I have 4 daughters, and two of which are my biological daughters, and two of which in marriage they are my and I'm a blended family, my stepkids. But at the end of the day, you know, I do what I can to encourage them. But there is nothing like when you come into contact with young men, knowing that you have been through certain challenges and you experience some things and you want to see their lives better. So it's our responsibility sometimes to take them on and to help to train and to mold and mentor them. Because if the truth be told, there are times when fathers, for whatever reason, walk out of the lives of their sons. And we have to now find ways that we can bridge that gap. We can step in and help to be some mentor or motivator to some of the young men, because a lot of times young men are looking for love, and then when we see them go astray and do some things that we are displeased with, then why are we not stepping in to help to mold them and to encourage them and push them along the way? So our words need to line up with our actions. Our words need to line up with our actions. When our actions line up with our words, we are more influential. When our actions line up with our words, we are more influential. There's a quote that uh, Deshaun Stokes, he said, if your actions don't live up to your words, you have nothing to say. If your actions don't line up with your words, don't live up to your words, you have nothing to say. The true meaning of our words is not what you or me say, but it's what we do. The true meaning of our words is not really what we say, but it's what we do. Are you being more of a doer or a sayer? We can say, but we have to now be able to do. One of the greatest mentors that I have learned about is Jesus himself. One of the greatest mentors, Jesus himself. And if we're going to be impactful and influential, it is important. It is important for us to mentor the next generation of men. We have to start with our young men, our sons, our brothers, our nephews, our friends, children, by in helping to influence their lives. That's how we're going to impact the next generation of men. There are some things that we see that we are displeased with, and we have an opportunity to correct those things. You know, one of the things that I learned about Jesus is when he came on the scene, he went out there and he pulled some men to him, and these men, he began to mentor these men. Jesus mentored his disciples by looking beyond. Jesus looked beyond their faults, their flaws, their frailties, their weaknesses. Jesus looked beyond those things at the time. And he called them even while they were still they were still in the conditions that they were in. He pulled them and started to mentor and equip them for the time when he would leave. And I believe that for as men, for our legacy to stand after we would have left is based on what we do to empower the next generation. It's based on what we do to empower the next generation. And that is why, when I look at Build Your Best Life, we want to help young men build their best life. Some of us are living our best life, but are we pulling along young men and men so that they can live their best life? Jesus, he showed the disciples. He showed the disciples that he believed in their ability to do greater things or to do greater works. And he equipped them with the tools that they needed. So we have to equip the young men with the tools that they need. What are these tools? They need to understand, firstly, what is or who is a man. What role and responsibility that a man has. And once we can now disseminate that information or the part that impact them and share that information and help them to see, not just saying it but doing it for them to see. One of my good friends, Pastor Coach Ricardo Miller, I watch him. I watch how he is so impactful in his son's life, and I believe that he and I may have shared similar experience and as it relates to coming up. And I honor that. I honor that. The fact that he is instilling in his son principles that a man should have in his life. Some of us missed that part and missed that stage, and we had to to relearn or unlearn some things that we learned. And I say kudos to my friend Pastor Coach Ricardo Miller as it relates to him being that great influence to his son's life. You know, I have a pastor friend, uh, Pastor Jeff Evans. He he's my mentor. He's my friend. He's my confidant. Anything that is, you know, I need some information on or I need assistance with, when I call him up, he's always there to share with me and to help me through some of those stages of my life that I need to understand. And a lot of times our young men need to understand some things and they don't have anyone there to help them to understand what it is that they are faced with, what they are going through. Um, and I believe once they understand this, they would live their best life. They would live beyond where they are. One of the things that I have coined is raw, rise over all restrictions. Now, the reason why I said that, you know, sometimes we will look at these phrases and try to understand why is it that someone said what they said. The purpose of me coining that phrase, rise over all restrictions, is because in my own life, I have discovered um, the ways to have a mindset to overcome the challenges that I have faced. And sometimes what happens is our young men don't know how to overcome those obstacles that are in their lives. Three things that I began to do when I realized that I need to rise over the restrictions, those limitations in my life. Three things I discovered. One was to be careful of the friends that I keep. Be careful of the friends that you keep. Number two, be careful of the places that you go. Some of those places that we say, you know, we're not going to go, and some of those same friends, they are some of the greatest influence to distract you from your purpose. Once you understand your identity and who you are, really and truly, there are some people you have to release. The places that you go, you have to now find like-minded people and places to be. Network with people who are going in the direction that you want to go into. If you are not mindful of the places that you are going, you can hinder yourself from moving forward. And I had to get rid of those things. And the third thing, I had to be careful of the things that I was doing. I said that, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. I had to realize the importance of me not doing what I say I'm not going to do anymore. So those three things I eliminate when I start to come into the fulfillment of my purpose and who I am. So you have to be careful of the people, the places, and some of the things that you are doing. Jesus, he believed in the disciples, their destinies. He believed in their destinies, and he invested time. He spent time with them, with the disciples. And that helped them to fulfill their purpose. Once we are willing to, once we are willing to empower young men and give them an opportunity, I believe we will see their gift begin to flourish. I'll say that again. Once we are willing to empower the young men and give them an opportunity, I believe we will see their gift begin to flourish. A lot of our young men are looking for love and someone to respect them and believe in them. A lot of our young men are looking for that because they had no father in the home to help and mentor and encourage them along the way. Some of our young men, they went astray. My example, I have my father. My father and I, we have a relationship. The part that I lacked when I was coming up as a young man was the fact that I did not live in the home with him. There are some things that I needed to learn as a young man. I didn't have my father there to teach me some of those things. A lot of the things that I learned from my mom, and I learned from my sister who helped to raise me. But daddy wasn't in the home to help to give me certain guidelines as a young man, how to be a good husband, how to be a good father, how to take care and to protect. He wasn't there to show me those things. Along the way, through my experience, I had to learn these things. And a lot of times I saw other men doing certain things, and sometimes we always pick up the bad habits. All right, there were some bad habits I picked up, but I had to make up for it by picking up some good habits as well. So I saw men, being influential. They're taking care of their families. They're encouraging their sons, and I had to take that on. I pulled that, and back on the side some of the negative things that I learned, and now I take the positive things and put that in my basket along my journey. Another thing I want us to be mindful of, according to the scripture, it says in the same way, let your light shine before others. You have to let your light shine. Be the light in the midst of darkness. There are times when people will be in a place of adversity. What influence or what impact that you are making to help them through? Many of us, because we have not come into our gifts and talents as yet. We don't understand who we really are, our identity in Christ. We are impactful, or we are beyond. Okay, we cannot phantom what it is that He has placed in our DNA. We have light in us to influence others who are going through some of the same challenges that we may have went through. So we have to be the light that shine before others. And how your light is going to shine? Your light is going to shine through, number one, discovering your identity and living in the moment. Discover your identity and live in the moment. Be a positive, number two, be a positive example in your community, because there are so many persons that look up to us, and they are looking for us to be that light. Have you ever noticed that out of a group of individuals, people will gravitate to you? Have you ever take note of that? Or have you ever wondered why? Why are people gravitating towards me? It's because you have the ability to influence. When you have the ability to influence, you have to let your light shine. Help somebody else along the way. And that is something that uh, I am coming in to myself of doing, helping others to identify their purpose, their calling, and help them to maximize their potential. And all of us have that ability to do that, but we have to come into who we are. Once we come into who we are, then others will follow us. I learned from John C. Maxwell is one of the things that I learned from John C. Maxwell is this: the fact that you are a leader. There are times the hardest person to lead is yourself. And in order for us to live our best life, we must know how to lead ourselves before we are able to lead others. There are times we want to lead people, but are you the best leader of yourself? Our young men have great potential. I want to leave us with this. Our young men have great potential. But it's incumbent on us for us to step up as men and pull a young man and help to encourage him and help to mentor him. I know there are times when we have our busy schedules and we have our lives and we have so many things going on. But there are times when we have to stop and try to pull a young man and help to influence him, encourage him, mentor him so that he can become better. The road that, or the path that he may be going on, that negative part, we want to now divert him onto that part of positivity. But it's up to us to decide that, hey, I'm gonna get a young man who I'm going to mentor and I'm gonna train, I'm gonna encourage, because a lot of times they don't have that. They don't have that influence in their lives. So we must be the influence that they need. So we cannot just speak the words, but our actions must line up with what we say we're gonna do and who we say we who we are. So I want to say thank you so much, Deborah, for allowing me this opportunity to be on Build Your Best Life. But I wish to admonish and let our men know, find a young man who you can mentor. Sometimes we refrain from doing that. If we want to see the change that we expect to see in our communities, in our nations, in the world, listen, we have to start right there. Start to influence a young man, because we see it. Jesus came, took a group of men, mentor, influence, and motivated them, encouraged them, and gave them all the tools that they needed to continue what he has started. So he that began a good work in you will see it to completion. So once we as men take the baton, we take that first step, then we will see some things coming in to alignment, some things coming in to place. But it have to start with us as men. We can't say we're going to do something and then we don't do it, because people are looking at our actions more than they hearing our words. And when we think about it, our character, based on what we say, people looking at our character. So let's not just be sayers, but let's be doers. So thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you to the viewing audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that word. Thank you so much. That was awesome. And I'm going to start out by saying you went full circle. And I love that, because you started out by saying that, your actions speak louder than words. That it's important that you know what you're doing, because people are watching you and your actions are important. But you ended up with, in order to lead someone, you need to be able to lead yourself.
Yes.
So I like that you went full circle with that, and it is, really, really essential. And I just love everything that you said. You said so much.
Yes.
And everybody out there, if you have any questions or whatever, if you could put those in the comments, Pastor Allen would be glad to answer those questions. I wanted to recap on some of the things that you said. And one that you talked about, that I like to talk about all the time, is character. That character. So when you follow those actions, those words up with your actions, you're actually building your character, because Character is hard to build. You have to
You're
work
right.
at it, you work
Right.
at it, you work at it. So then when you get it at a place where you think, oh, people think, oh, well, Pastor Allen, he is such a great man. Oh, he's a family man. He's blah, 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 blah. You go out and stump your toe and miss and hit a lady. That's all you're going to hear. Pastor Allen hit that lady.
Right.
And then everybody's going to believe that because they're going to add something to it. And it's going to take him a long time to
Right.
overcome that little hiccup. That wasn't
Yes.
really a hiccup,
Yes.
but that's
You're
how
right
it
about it.
works. So your words need to be followed up with those powerful, powerful actions. And, it's really essential that men begin to, say, I'm busy, but, if I can take 2 hours on a Saturday and spend with a young man to talk with him,
Yes.
to guide him and lead him, that's what they need. A lot of them, didn't have men in their lives. Their father wasn't there. Then they didn't have that community that stepped in to assist the mom. The mom does their best, but there's certain things that they don't know. And
Yes.
just like the mom doesn't know, then she can't teach that child. And you don't know what you don't know till something comes up. And you're like, well, I didn't know that. Well, if you don't have
Right.
anybody to teach you, how can you expect anybody to know? So, giving up that 1 or 2 hours, what is that? What is that?
Right.
That's what we're supposed to do, give our time and our talent. And just doing something at the church, that's not what God is looking for. He's looking for us to use the talents that He's given us for His purpose. And He cares about all His children. So He wants
Right.
us to be doing something for them as well.
See, and when you talk about the community, there's something that we always say. It takes a village to raise a child. And sometimes we have a lot of words, we say a lot of things in our communities, but then our actions lining up with our words. Because, not until something happens, then persons, they want to, we are more reactive than actually proactive. But I believe that if we come together as a community, as it said, it takes a village to raise a child. If we can step in here and there to help somebody that we know, many times we have neighbors and we have friends and we can see what they are faced with as a community, but we don't step in to say, hey, let me be of assistance to this individual.
All right. Yeah, so we don't always want to wait until something happens and then say, oh, well, I was noticing that young man, he had changed. He was being bullied at school and his personality was just changing. Okay, so you knew he was being bullied. He didn't know what to do. I mean,
Right.
when you're being bullied and you go tell your teacher, whatever, that makes it worse. Oh, you're a tattletale or whatever. So something is going on with that child, reach out a hand and help that child, but let's
Definitely.
talk, and one of the things I've been saying, who does the person that bully, who do they look for? They look for that person that's always got their head down. They're not gonna look them
Right.
in the eye. So when your knees may be shaking, you may be scared to death, but when they walk up on you, just look them right in the eye, say, yes,
Yeah.
I help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And a lot of young men need help. No matter how
Right.
we look at it, a lot of them need help. I personally, me, I know when I was coming up, I needed a lot of help. But who was there to help me? Mommy and my sister, you
Yeah.
know. And I would always refer to them because they were the ones who helped to mold me along the way, you know.
Yep. See, they did a wonderful job. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And we thank you for all the tools that you gave us. It's important for a man to know the role that we have in life. And like you have 4 daughters. So you want them to marry someone that's gonna know, first of all, that they need to be able to take care of them before they take them out that house. They can, financially take care of them. They're
Right.
not going to hit them. They're
Mhm.
not going to abuse them. They're not going to talk down to them, call them out their name. They got to respect them and know
Yes.
how to love them. Well, somebody got to teach the young men how to do that, you
Yeah.
know?
And I think that's why it's so important for us as fathers to teach teach that to our daughters, and not through saying it to them, but showing them. And
Right.
then they would, they would pick up that same pattern, and they would look, okay, my daddy says wonderful things to me. He gives me, he helps me. And if they see the young man doing something that their father is not doing,
Bye.
better say bye.
Yes.
Better say bye.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this was great information. So I know some of you may have tuned in later, but it's great information. If you didn't get the full uh, get all of the information, please feel free to go back on YouTube or Facebook. The posts never come down. They will still be there. Facebook is there now. If you go there, YouTube, I think it won't be up until tomorrow, but it will be there. So please share this with someone, because this was all excellent, excellent information.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I know that you are doing things, I'm pretty sure, in your community. Whatever, is there like a website or anything that you want to let people know about?
Well, I mean, at this time, people can follow me right now on Facebook, Leonardo A. Allen Jr. Um, Also, we have the church's page, People's Assembly. You can follow that as well. Some of the things that we're doing over there here in the Bahamas, actually, we are connected with the Great Commission Ministry as well. Great Commission Ministry is headed by Bishop Walter Hanschel here in the Bahamas, and it's a organization that helps the least of these, those people in the community who needs assistance, help with those who need uh, accommodation or shelter, those who need food, clothes, helps a lot of people here in the Bahamas.
That's great.
Yes.
All right, so y'all heard that information. And if you forget it, you can go back and stroll to the end and pick up the information off this
Yes.
video.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So again, thank you for tuning in. And if you have not liked my page, please like my page. And if you don't, if you mostly watch on Facebook, please ask that you also go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I want to change the name of my channel, so I need you to subscribe. So I appreciate that.
Okay. And also to add to that, Brenda, Deborah, also to add to that, my wife and I have the Hold It Together Marriage Forum.
Okay.
So you can find us on Facebook, the Hold It Together Marriage Forum as well, where we helping with singles, married, widows, divorce. We're doing the whole 9 years of relationship. We're helping people in the scope of relationship. So you can tune into our Facebook page, Hold It Together Marriage Forum.
Okay, that's good to know. And your book, title of your book again?
A Man's Purpose in Life.
Okay. And if I had known you weren't going to hold your book up, I would have had my book on my desk.
Yes. I have one, but I didn't put it right here in front of me.
All right.
Yeah.
So please join us tomorrow night, same time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night, we're going to have Pastor Herb Ford on.
Okay.
So please join us tomorrow, everyone.
Mhm.
And then on Thursday night, we're going to have Coach Ricardo Miller will be on. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And you can't miss out Saturday. Saturday's going to be good as well. Chucks for Pearls and Earls. That's Carol Crockett, Anastasia Smith, Anita Cummins, and myself. We will be on, and our topic is Color Him Father. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Too.
So you have to tune us 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again, Deborah. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. And
And
thank you.
congratulations on being a coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And you've been doing a great job, I must say. You've been doing an amazing job. And I want to encourage you to continue the great work that you're doing with Build Your Best Life.
I appreciate that. So please check out my webpage, www.buildyourbestlife.org. It's www.buildyourbestlife.org. Read my blog that comes out every Monday. Go visit my web store so that you can see the coaching, all the services that I offer, which is coaching, consultations, speaking, webinar speaking, and you can get my book, Build Your Best Life. Autographed copy. I have them in stock. And if you like the Kindle version, it's Amazon.com. So again, thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Remember, as you go on your life to being a better you, there will be rough terrain, distractions, obstacles. Don't let any of those negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you, be blessed, and stay safe. Bye-bye.